Hey guys, this is John Anderson, Vice President of Lotpop Inc. I just wanted to ask up front if you would be so kind, if you like this content that's being put out by our company. Listen, we're really trying very hard to deliver some content that will have you think about things, right? The one thing we don't want to do, that we challenge our dealers on a daily basis when we work with them, is to think outside the box, right? Look in those areas that you don't know just because you don't know. And what I mean by that is there are areas in our lives that we don't know just because we haven't experienced them. We've never experienced them. So that's what's great about working in these outside of the box areas, is right, we're learning things about these. And so this is what we do as a company. We try to bring new ways of thinking, bringing typically areas in dealerships that are siloed together, and ways to work to help us improve our operation. And this content's delivered. We don't ask anything for this other than the fact that we would love it if you would, at the bottom, like or subscribe and just help us get more of this information out there. Listen, this business has been great to all the people that are involved with Lotpop, our performance managers, our development staff, our operations staff, Jason and myself, who have pretty much all grew up in the automotive business, and the business has been fantastic to us. So this is our way to give back. So again, if you'd be so kind to just click on below and just like or subscribe and just help us get this word out, we'd really appreciate that. So I want to ask you today, think about this for a second. You got a grip on your bricks and mortar operation, right? You know right now you're looking out the window possibly. Well, you're not looking out the window now, you're watching this hopefully, but you looked out the window today and you saw customers on your lot. You were sitting at your sales desk, you're working the sales desk, you see customers on your showroom floor. You know what your salespeople are doing with them, or maybe you realize because of what you're not seeing, you have to go in and take a TO. So you're all over that lot. When you drove in this morning, hopefully you drove your lot. You're looking for any inventory that might be out of place, or holes on the lot, or what do we have in back, right? In the back of our store, or where is in our service row that is not ready yet. And I need to go talk to my service manager or go visit my detail department to see how am I going to get this inventory up on the lot, right? So people can find it. So what I want to ask you is, we're doing all these things when we drive on our lot every day, when we're in our bricks and mortar store. So my question to you is, what manager do you have involved at your store that's managing your virtual dealership? We have all these managers. We have a general manager. We have a new car manager. We have a used car manager, sometimes multiple managers. We have F&I manager. We have a service manager. We have a detail manager. We have all these managers in our bricks and mortar, so which is needed, and that's the history of the business. But what I want to ask you, as business is evolving, again, what managers do you have solely dedicated to your virtual dealership? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Are we looking at our virtual dealership the same way that we look at our bricks and mortar store? So do me a favor, if you get a chance, if you'd answer the question for me, if you put in a little comment. We do have managers watching our virtual lot, or we don't have, just let me know kind of what your feelings are on this video about, do we have anybody dedicated to watching or managing our virtual dealership? Because here's the truth. I don't know what your store looked like. I know the store that I was running for a while, a busy day for us would be 60 customers. You know, if I was running a mail campaign, which I used to do quite a bit, if I was running a mail campaign on a weekend, you know, we might get 100 plus people on the lot on that day. But on your virtual dealership, you may have 1,000 plus customers visiting your virtual dealership every day. And so I always challenge dealers, or we challenge dealers as a team at Lotpop, is what we're doing in our bricks and mortar store, right? We should be doing in our virtual dealership. So if I'm making sure that my cars, my inventory that I'm responsible for, and when I say responsible, that's really, if you're looking at that in your inventory management tool by dollars invested, you're really running that like a stockbroker for your owner, right? My owner has $1.6 million invested in this inventory, and my responsibility as a manager of his store is to make that make that inventory, that investment turn more dollars, turn profit, right? So the best way that I can do that is turn that inventory fast, right? Because we all know if we look at those metrics on a regular basis, we know the faster we sell our inventory, we maximize on the gross potential of that inventory. Lotpop always talks about first 30 days, that first 30, because that's that essential metric that helps us manage that gross and also produces volume, right? So when we're looking at our inventory, we come in and we pay so much attention to how does my inventory look on my lot? Do I have it spaced right? Is it lined up so that when customers come on my lot, we present ourselves in a way, right, that customers say, hey, these guys look like I know what's going on. I want to shop here, right? I want to potentially give them my business. But again, how are we looking at that on our virtual lot? Are we looking at our marketing? Do we look at our photos? Are we showing all outside photos of our inventory and not getting some of those key options up front in our inventory? Because customers nowadays, because of cell phones and Amazon.com, we can get what we want anywhere within about 30 seconds to a minute. So if I'm a customer on your virtual dealership, do I have to click through a bunch of photos to find the equipment that I'm looking for that's important to me? Because if I do and it's taking me too long, I might bounce. So again, that's something that's important. I'm spending that time on my bricks and mortar to do that on my physical lot. Am I doing that on my virtual lot? If a customer walks in my showroom floor and walks around my showroom floor and doesn't get waited on, well, you guys put that in the comments too. How long would it take before you got involved with a customer walked on your showroom floor and didn't get waited on? And if they didn't get waited on, what would your action be? So I know I've heard comments all over the place. Well, I wouldn't let a customer go 30 seconds. I'd be talking to them. Or I'd throw a chair through the window if a customer come on my lot and I didn't get a response or a salesperson didn't wait on it. So you wouldn't let that happen on your physical lot of a customer walking on your lot and not getting waited on. But why are we doing that every day on our virtual dealership? Here's another question for you. Customer walks in your front door, you're at the sales desk, you hear the salesman greet them, and the salesman greets them and says, welcome to ABC Dealer, Mr. and Miss Customer. Where are you at in your shopping process? And they say, we're here to see this specific vehicle, and your salesperson looks at them and said, I'm sorry, Mr. and Miss Customer, we sold that vehicle 2 days ago, and turns around and walks away from them and doesn't say another word to them. Again, what would your reaction be to that? I know what mine would be, but again, if we look at that in our bricks and mortar and you look at that in your virtual lot, guys, that's happening, guys and gals, that's happening every day on your virtual lot. There's a vehicle sold, you have an active lead in your CRM, and we are not trying to pair that active lead in our CRM that the vehicle sold with a vehicle we have in inventory that's similar. So again, what am I doing? Do we need somebody to manage that? And here's my comment, and the reason why I thought about this, because I woke up at 1:30 in the morning this morning thinking about this and what I was going to say to you, and this is what I'm seeing. Here's the fact. Most dealerships, not everybody, but most dealerships do this every day, right? I've got this hat on. This is my used car department. I have to take that off 10 minutes into work because I have a TO I got to go take with a customer. I got to take that hat off because I have a salesperson that didn't show up today in my department and they're struggling, so I've got to work with my salesperson to try to help them out because I care about them and they're an important member of my team. When I'm done with that, I got to take that hat off, and I've got inventory that's working its way through the service department. So I've got to be that guy that goes back into the service department to wear this hat to talk to my service manager. When I'm done there, I've got a bunch of cars sitting back in detail, and they're not ready to go. So I have to get those through so I can get those cars online. So the fact of the matter is, most dealerships have a management team that is short-staffed, honestly, for what we have to do, and we're wearing all these multiple hats. And as a result of that, we have to take bits and pieces. We can keep our eyes on what's in front of us, right, in our bricks and mortar operation, but being able to take that attention and show it to our virtual dealership is nearly impossible because of all these hats we're wearing. So I wanted to come to you today to really have you think about, and this may be a challenge, right? Because it's creating another position in the store, but having someone that is specifically charged with managing your online operation. So how much inventory do I have sitting on my virtual lot that is not fully ready to go? So in other words, I don't have a full set of photos, or I don't have a price, I don't have a description. The vehicles that are sitting on my virtual dealership, how do my pictures look? Are they arranged properly? Does the thumbnail photo, is it facing the right direction? Do I have banner ads on my thumbnail? More importantly, am I using great meta tagging in my description so that it helps me keep that inventory in front of more eyes online on a regular basis? How many leads do I have on my inventory? And what's the last time that I looked at those leads, or the last time we've contacted the leads? More importantly, how much of my inventory is sitting there without leads on it, and it's aging on me, and I'm not doing anything to change anything? Listen, if you were, again, comparing it to your bricks and mortar store, if I was standing in my bricks and mortar and I constantly seen people pull on my lot, and there were certain vehicles that never got any attention, or better yet, if I had a key machine in my store, I could pull that key report, and if I looked at that key report and I had a vehicle that was 30 days old that never had the key pulled on it, what action would I take with that vehicle to try to get that vehicle more customers, or get a customer on it so that I could retail that? It's easy to take it to the auction. That's easy. It's sometimes the most painful thing to do. Easy to take it to the auction. Sometimes what's hard is to get a customer on it so I can grow my customer tree. I could potentially get a trade that goes in to our service department. My service department can work on it. My parts department can work on it. Plus I get a shot at F&I. Plus my salespeople get excited because I have new inventory coming out. So that's why it's so important to retail this information, or retail our inventory. But here's the thing. If I don't have any customers looking at it, what do I need to do to get customers to look at it? And more importantly, when that is virtually, right? How do I get my inventory in front of more customers online? Well, I can rearrange my photos. I can make sure I got proper meta tagging in there. For an example, if I only have navigation listed, people search by navigation, but they also search by nav, and they also search by GPS. So do I have all three of those search terms in there to get more search on that inventory if they're searching organically? Do I have that vehicle priced right? Is it in a price that's going to grab people's attention? So there are multiple ways that I can get that inventory in front of more eyes online. And then when I have eyes on it, and we're getting people that are looking at on our virtual showroom, and they're looking at it, are we communicating with those customers? You would take a TO on your showroom floor, or are you taking TOs on your virtual dealership? So again, those are some things that I wanted to bring to you today as a thought starter, because I think it's as this starts to unravel, I think it's more and more important. Because I just read an article. I read an article in Forbes where it talked about used car pricing being up, and what they were referring to as wholesale pricing. As a matter of fact, it came out today. Used car pricing for the first quarter was up, I believe, 8.6% on the wholesale side. But in that same article, it referenced a site where you could go to and look at retail pricing, and they had 50 cities listed in that site, and 49 of those cities retail pricing was a negative number. In the first quarter, it had dropped in a negative. So on one hand, we're telling ourselves that pricing's up at the wholesale side. On the other hand, we're telling ourselves that retail pricing is going down. So what that indicates to us is that dealers are out there selling inventory to one another, and you're paying up for it, for inventory that you need, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the customers are going to engage with you on that inventory. So again, the best way I can know that, find out that fast, so I can be proactive in how I'm managing my inventory on where I'm getting most of my customers at, which is my virtual dealership, is to have somebody dedicated, a dedicated manager working my virtual dealership just like I do my bricks and mortar. So give that some thought. We'd love some responses. I appreciate you watching this video. Love some responses to some of the questions I asked at the bottom. And then please give us a like, a subscribe if you like the content. We wish you guys much success. And if we can help you in any way, you can reach us at www.lotpop.com, and we'll be more than happy to reach out to you. You can reach me at janderson, ANDERSON, at lotpop.com. Listen, reach out to me. I'll help you in any way that I can. Again, it's our way at Lotpop to give back to industry that's been so great to us. So, hey, much success selling, much success. We appreciate you watching this. Thanks very much.